Hi, everybody, and welcome to the third annual Ashland Invitational on Softball Premier TV. We're in Ashland, Ohio, Brookside Park, a storied place for softball. Many legends have played here. The softball field has had a little bit of an overhaul. The fence now is clear in the outfield, which is probably good if you're a fan, but not so great if you're a player because, the fence used to be dark and it was easier to see the pitches. Now you can see the bottom of the flagpole, which you didn't used to be able to see. In the first matchup tonight, the AWP Lumberjacks will take on the Ohio Bombers, two teams that have had success this year. The Lumberjacks, no matter what poll you look at, they're 7th or 8th nationally, and the Bombers ranked around 16. The Bombers hail from Bainbridge, Ohio, of course, and the Lumberjacks come from Illinois. Not as much life in this park as there used to be when I was a kid. Growing up, my teacher in elementary school was Lauren Green, who played for the Faultless Rubbermen. We used to have, the Faultless Rubbermen and the Merchant CSS teams were two of the big teams that played at Brookside Park. Your umpires tonight were on the screen. Now they're gone. They're back again. Trevor Topping, David Jackson, and Brian Sonic. I'm guessing his name's not Brain. That's what it said, but his name's probably Brian, right? Okay. We're glad you could tune in here to Premier TV, and we're glad to have you on a beautiful Friday night. Game time temperature around 74 with not many clouds in the sky, not even that stuff that was coming down from Canada for a while. So it's a beautiful night here at Brookside Park. Light winds as the two teams are getting loose out there, and the leadoff hitter that'll step into the box is the left fielder, Miklas Kloss. Kloss leads off for the AWP Lumberjacks. And pitching is Mariano Palate for the Ohio Bombers. Growing up with the likes of the Darren Zacks, Lauren Allgaiers, the New Zealand, Canadian pitchers, and all the legends that pitched in this park, I can remember some guys you couldn't even see the ball coming across the plate. Of course, there was a guy sitting beside me named Mark Hastings. I could see every ball he was throwing. Full of good guys in the press box here. To my right, Mike Van Dyne Jr., and Mark Hastings, who are part of getting this tournament together along with Craig Scott. It's the third annual, as I said, Ashland Invitational. 2 years ago, the Gremlins took home the title. Last year, it was washed out. And an 0-2 count on the batter. And another foul ball out to the right side. Going to get out of the park. Lots of room here in this park. Lots of room for foul balls, and, as a kid, we used to run foul balls up and stick them in the fence for 10 cents. Now, with the price of softballs, they better be giving these kids a couple bucks. Kloss will await the 0-2 pitch, and the ball's just inside. And so Kloss, a patient hitter up now, pretty big fella. Don't have his size, but he looks to be about 6'2". Pretty athletic, as you can see. And that foul ball just about came into the press box. And, I was watching a YouTube video earlier this year when an announcer actually got hit by the ball. If you hit the two guys to my right, they won't feel it. The Lumberjacks wearing the dark blue with the North Carolina trim. The Bombers with the black and red. And the 1-2 offering is a foul ball back to the screen. This park has seen a lot of softball over the years. It's been about 8 years ago. The women's national team played against Team Ohio. I was on the PA for that, and it was an excellent game. Doubleheader, actually. And ball two. As Kloss is getting a little comfortable now. I believe the fence is close to 250. Is that right? 225 down the lines, 250 to center. Mark Hastings would know. He sent a few over those fences. And a ground ball up the middle, base hit into center field. So Klaus will round first base, and Cody Pennybacker. Cody, if the stats are right online on Game Changer, Cody's hitting 327, which is about 50 pounds lighter than me, fellas. I got these guys cracking up already, and we just started. We're in the top of the first inning. Pennybacker looks like he's going to lay one down and pulls the bat back. Ball one. Klaus stares into the third base coaching box, looking for the sign. And here comes the second pitch, and it's a foul ball popped up to the screen. So Pennybacker plays second base for the Lumberjacks. And Mariano Pelletier takes his good old time. They don't have the same rule they have in Major League Baseball here. You don't have to throw the ball so quick. But a nice bunt delivered and, well, a sacrifice as Klaus makes his way into second base. And Pennybacker does his job. Jordan Solario will step in, and Jordan, the center fielder, a successful season so far this year. And the stats look pretty good on the stat sheet for him. As he gets on base, it looks like about half the time that he steps into the box. One out away, top of the first inning from Brookside Park in Ashland, Ohio. And the pitch looked to be a curveball, and it made its way outside across the box. So we must have a good umpire, because I've seen a lot of strikes called on that pitch from the little guys here. Do they bring these guys in from the outside, Mike? Yeah, they're traveling umpires. 2 balls, the count on the batter, Solorio. Pelletier regrouping, stepping back. And it's really, when you're facing a guy like this at this scenario, as you know, many of the people out there have played the game. Well, it looks like they're stepping on the plate when they hop. You better know what you're swinging at when you come up. And we try to, obviously, playing fast pitch softball, you got to really go up with the game plan. You have to know what pitch you're looking for when you come up. Because if you don't, well, you're not going to be on base. 3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4, the delivery, and runners on first and second for the Lumberjacks. As making his way into the box is Francisco Lombardo, the third baseman. Lombardo with runners on first and second here, looking to capitalize in the first inning. The Lumberjacks, one of the better teams in this tournament. And the first offering, Lombardo hits it out over the fence. Where's the little kids at? Get out there and chase those. Tournament director Craig Scott is now in the box, and he looks a lot cleaner than he did when I saw him earlier with his uniform on. And he delivered a bunch of white balls. Ball low, and then we're seeing a lot of those. No score, top of the first inning, Brookside Park in lovely Ashland, Ohio. And a third baseman, Francisco Lombardo, looks at the offering and swings at a high pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter with 1 out. Runners on first and second. And a beautiful picture you're looking at here online. It's amazing as a kid, if you weren't at the game, you didn't know what was going on. Well, you could probably hear Martha Hyman here at the field from about three blocks over. She has missed. God bless her. We miss her. She was a regular at all the games. Strike three, and, well, I don't think he really liked that. Lombardo making his way slowly back to the dugout as he is the second out and the first strikeout victim for Pelete. Carlos Carreño steps into the box. I can't roll my R's. Carlos takes the first offering, actually takes a big cut at the first offering. His eyes were looking across the street at the vehicles, I think, trying to get these runs home. Runners on first and second. Still in the top of the first. And a foul ball back out of play. Crowd is slowly making their way into the ballpark here at Brookside. There's no rain in the forecast for the entire weekend. And that's when my wife allows me to put the chair on the porch with the pillow on it because she didn't like it to get wet. So if it's raining, I got to bring it inside. That looked close. And I think Pelete wanted the strike called there, and he didn't get it. Mariano takes a step back and, well, rethinks what's coming on the next pitch. Carreño awaits the pitch, and he hits a ground ball past the shortstop. That'll score a run. And the second one's going to stop at third. As Carreño knocks in the first run of the ball game. Tyler Boulay coming up. The lefty, power hitter. Boulay with 6 dingers on the season. And a storied kid, really, to be honest with you. Tyler, well, a lot of history for him, including the Junior Male Athlete of the Year in 2015. So Tyler, well, he was also, I believe, all-tournament a couple tournaments ago. So they're expecting great things from him as Tyler consistently hits over 300. Ball gets back to the screen, and that will score another run for the Lumberjacks. And advancing to third is Carreño. Two balls, no strikes on Booley. The designated player for the Lumberjack squad, his team up 2-0 here in the top of the first inning, and a ball just outside. Just missed the black on the corner. Outside once again, and Boulay will trot down to first base with the walk. Cisco Sabate. Sabate. I got to pronounce it right. Sabate, Sabate, tomato, I got it. Sabate, the left-handed hitter, another great player for this team, hitting just under 400, watches strike one. And that's a pitch that, well, a lot of people sit on that first ball fastball because, well, you're more successful when you do. Over 50% of the time, if you swing at that first pitch down the middle, it's going somewhere. Second pitch is also a strike, and the runner will advance to second base as Booley gets the uncontested trip to second base. That's the only stolen base I ever got in my career when they gave it to me like that. Pelete delivers the pitch outside. 1-2 on the batter with 2 outs here, top of the first inning, and the Lumberjacks with a 2-0 lead. Strike 3, and that'll get the Bombers out of the inning. In the top of the first inning for the Lumberjacks, 2 runs on 2 hits. 2 men left on base. We'll take a break. You're listening to and watching Softball Premier TV, and we'll be back right after this. Back at Brookside Park in Ashland. We're doing the 3rd annual Ashland Invitational, and the Lumberjacks out to a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first. And Loreno Martinez will lead off for the Bombers, the left-hander. And the only guy that they didn't give me on the roster is pitching. Strike 1 delivered. We need to find out who's on the mound when we can. Yeah, he wasn't on the roster to start the game. Is that a technical foul? Do we get to shoot 2 shots? Okay, that's what I thought. Technical foul, 2 shots. And Martinez with an 0-2 count. Foul ball back to the screen. The Lumberjacks with some technically sound baseball, and the Bombers with a pass ball. Giving up a couple hits, are down 2-0 here as we're in the beginning of this one. Well, we'll get his name because he obviously exists. We know it's not Hastings. All right, he's from Czechoslovakia. We know that now. And the batter couldn't check, and he strikes out. Kuba Oseka is the pitcher. He wears number 17, and he rings up the first guy he faces. Swinging, that's 1 out. Dustin Rutt, the center fielder. The lefty will walk into the batter's box to face Oseka. Oseka, big right-hander, looks to be about 6'4". He's about a foot taller than me, Mark. 6'3.5". I'm not actually 5'4". That was a joke. Oseka delivers, and a weak foul ball out to the right. And 2 strikes on the batter, Rutt. Dustin Rutt eyes Oseka. And Oseka with a nice pitch just off the corner. Beautiful camera work here, Luciano. And Oseka blows it by the batter. And Dustin Rutt will head to the dugout. 2 away.
Brings up the catcher,
Brandon Rutt, the catcher, will step into the box. Another Rutt, another left-handed hitter. And Oseka eyes him. Hops in, ball outside, just a little bit outside. 2-0, the Lumberjacks leading in this one early. Bottom of the first inning. Crowd filling in. More on the Lumberjacks side. Not sure if they actually are here to watch the Lumberjacks or they're just here to watch fast pitch softball. It's something that we missed, right, in Ashland, Ohio. Here in Ashland, where I'm a native of, we had a lot of fast pitch softball over the years. Some great teams. Mike's dad was a player, coach, catcher for the Faultless Rubbermen. They finished second back in 1986. And I didn't even write that down, Mikey. 81. They won in 81. Yeah. So the Faultless Rubbermen, a force to be reckoned with. Oseka delivers. Foul ball. That was a hot shot. They're glad that the fence is about 15 feet high there. And we have some area teams here that have played for years. And guy sitting beside me, left-handed pitcher. Tell you like I tell my kid, you were slightly better than average. Swing and a miss. Oseka gets the side. And after 1 inning of play from Ashland, the score, the Lumberjacks 2, the Bombers nothing. You're watching Softball Premier TV. We'll be back right after this. We're back, and the Lumberjacks watching pitcher Pelete loosen up here as he didn't really throw a bad first inning, but the Bombers trailing the Lumberjacks 2-0 as the 8th hitter in the lineup, Daniel Allstat, the catcher, steps up. And as catchers go, including myself, all stats put together. Pelete delivers and a swing and a miss for Allstat. Kind of waved at it. Pelete delivers a fastball over the outside corner, and just like that, Allstat down 0-2. Sun shining where the outfield starts in center field, right at the edge of the grass, and a foul ball back to the screen, still 0-2. And if you're looking out to the right field side, as we have cameras all over this place, in right field. The sun is shining right on the right fielder, and it is very hard to play that side of the outfield at this time of day. And that is a well-timed, went with the pitch to right field, and Allstat finds himself on with the single.
Base hit by Allstat brings up the right fielder, Carlos Colmenares.
Carlos, I should say, Colmenares will come up to the plate. He's the ninth hitter in the lineup. And just like the first inning, a leadoff hit. Colmenares hitting over 300 for this Lumberjacks squad, who's had a pretty good season. The Lumberjacks, of course, in the mix, as depending on where you look, the team from Illinois is ranked 7th or 8th. One poll looked like it was published the 19th, the other one the 20th. And the pitch is pulled back his bat. Looked like he wanted to sacrifice bunt. And it was a pitch he could have, but he pulled it back. 0-2 count on the batter. And Mariano Pelletier delivers the pitch. And that one will send Colmenares back to the dugout. Strike 3. 1 out. Little high heat there. So Nicholas Klaas back to the plate. Where's number 96? Plays left field and had a hit in his first at bat. Klaas, a pretty big guy, as I said before. Looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. Failed to advance Allstott to second base. Did Colmenares. 1 down and a 2-0 lead for the Lumberjacks here in the start of this tournament. Good to see softballs. The ball bounces off the plate, off the batter, and it hit him in the box, so he's good. Crowd continues to increase. As long as the ice cream stand behind us is open, the crowd will keep coming. I don't eat anything after 6, so you don't have to worry about me getting the rest of the ice cream. Every time I start towards the red barn, the guy gets nervous for some reason. Foul ball back to the screen. And Klaas rethinking what he's doing. Pretty good hitter for this Lumberjacks team. Starts with his left foot out of the box. And pulls it back in, curveball outside, and which is hard to do in fast pitch softball. But your swing's all rhythm, right? So whatever he feels good doing, he can do. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. So my man Luciano's right on top of it to my left. And that is on the inside corner, and Klaas will take a seat as he doesn't agree. But that was a pretty good pitch. 2 down as Panabecker steps back up. The right-hander, 327 on the campaign, will step in and look at the pitcher, Mariano Pelletier. Curveball outside, runner tries to advance, and he stuck his foot up high, and somehow the tag missed him. And so, stolen base for Daniel Allstott. Actually, not Allstott, it's a pinch runner. Yeah, and so the pinch runner is Juan Valia. Valia pinch running out there. I knew it wasn't Allstott when I looked up and there wasn't as much dirt coming up at second base. Valia with the stolen base. Top of the second inning. 2-0 lead, and, well, a big offering there from the batter, Pennybacker. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. Pelletier delivers, and it's a fly ball, a weak fly ball, and the right fielder calls off the second baseman, and the Bombers out of the inning as Redemar brings it in. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Will go to the bottom of the second inning. The Lumberjacks lead 2-0. You're listening to Softball Premier TV. We'll be back right after this.
Leading off the Ohio Bombers about the second inning, the designated player,
Back at Brookside Park, the third annual Ashland Invitational. 2-0 lead for the Lumberjacks. And Oseka will walk up to the mound as he'll face Conrado Zanatino. Zanatino? Is that right? Zanatino? Zanatino. Double deuce, we'll call him. 22 he wears, and he hits the ball right up the middle and right off the glove. Fielded and thrown out on the play by the second baseman, Pennybacker. One away, bottom of the second inning, and the batter, Ryan Maher, the shortstop. Marr. Like Bill Marr. Marr. I got these guys to my right. They give me the pronunciations as they come. Well, not seeing these teams before is kind of difficult, right? I think it's funny, don't they? Ryan Marr, the shortstop, facing Oseka, and that's ball one. The count 1-1. 1 out, bottom of the second inning. And it, folks, is one of the best nights we've had all year for ball. Slight breeze. And every once in a while we've had a hitter create a better breeze for us. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ground ball down to third. It's fair. And over to first base it goes. And Marr back to the dugout as a nice play right down the line by the third baseman, Francisco Lombardo. And Lucio, is it Redemar? Redemar, the right fielder, the lefty, to face Oseka. And that is a strike right down Brookside Drive. Redemar with 1 foot back out of the box takes a healthy cut at strike 2. And Oseka appears to be getting momentum. Redemar calls timeout and stretches to prolong the agony maybe of headed back to the dugout. Oseka's in the, got the rhythm going on. And a ball high, 1-2. Oseka rocks, stops, and delivers. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 on Redemar, and that'll retire the side. We played 2 from Brookside Park in Ashland, Ohio. The Lumberjacks lead this one 2-0. You're watching Softball Premier TV. We'll be back right after this.
Lumberjacks 2, Ohio Bombers 0. Leading off for MVP, the top of the 3rd inning, the center fielder, Jordan Solario.
Back to the top of the 3rd inning here at Brookside Park, the 3rd annual Ashland Invitational, and up to bat for the Lumberjacks, Jordan Solario. 0 for 1 on the night. The early evening, I would say, as a lot of sunshine left here. Curveball outside. And 2 balls, no strikes to the batter. Mariano Pelletier, an up and down night so far. And his 2-0 offering is just a bit inside. The Bombers holding their own against this team. A tough top half of the first, but Solario will trot down to first base with the walk. Well, you could hear the PA announcer, Mark Hastings, do the honor for me. Francisco Lombardo steps into the box. Oh for 1 on the day, Lombardo. Looks at one high. 1 ball, no strikes. Foul ball back to the screen. As it's nice to see the Friday night crowd here at Brookside. Continues to improve. And that one kind of rolls in. You know, we're famous here in Ashland for bowling, so that made sense. The Ashland High School bowlers this year, Luciano, finished 4th in the country, the high school team. And Pelletier just showed you he could probably bowl for him. And that one swung at and missed. 2-2 the count on the batter. No outs. Solario drew the walk. He's on first base. And the Bombers trying to get some outs here as a Nice looper into right field. Fielded well. And the runner to third is safe as Solorio under the tag on the single by Lombardo. And we've got runners at the corners in the top of the third for the Lumberjacks to start. Redemart, pretty nice throw from right field, but no chance as the speedster Solorio got in before the throw. Carlos Carreño will come up to the plate. Hitting around 400 on the season. Carreño kind of built like a guy we know here in Ashland, John Melchiori, isn't he? Kind of looks like him, doesn't he? Melchiori's got to be playing in the senior league by now. And that is ripped, but foul. Runners on second and third, no outs. Top of the third inning from Brookside Park. And Pelletier trying to get somebody out. Carreño stares down Pelletier and swings and fouls it back over the screen and out of play. If I chase foul balls tonight, I get all my steps in for the whole day. The goal is 6,000 a day for me, the big guy. But I'd probably get 6,000 an inning here, which is why I'm up here and somebody else is chasing them. Carreño waits for the offering from Pelletier. It's inside and low. Nowhere near hitting him. But the Bombers are clearly setting the stage for a big inning for the Lumberjacks. Pelletier looks over the hitter and delivers. And a foul ball right behind the plate bounces into the on-deck circle. And Tyler Boulay giving a little advice right now to the hitter, Carreño. Probably the guy I'd take advice from. Six home runs is a lot of home runs on the season, right? This early? It's more donuts than I eat today. Swing and a miss. And that is it for Mr. Carreño. And our first out of the inning. Tyler Boulay, the left-hander. A stout 5'10". Steps into the box. And he'd like nothing better than to send one over the right field fence. Takes the first pitch just outside. And Mariano Pelletier would like to strand those runners on base. Pretty comfortable place to play here, too, with the dugouts. Kind of keeps you away from everybody. No loges here like up in Cleveland. And the ball's a nice pick there. Has the ball into dirt on the outside. Brandon Rutt saves a run. Pelletier delivers, and a line drive shot almost took his head off. Right up the middle, one in, and the second one will stop at third. An RBI single for Tyler Boulay. Cisco Sabate will step in with runners on the corners as Boulay does what he does best and Pelletier will get a greeting from his coach. Looks like they may make a change, and they're going to. Tyson Duncan coming in to pitch for this team, and Duncan is the guy on this team. Duncan from Australia, the lefty, played a lot of softball. Looking to clean things up here for his Bombers team as he doesn't want to get too far down. We'll take a break while Duncan warms up. You're watching Softball Premier TV. We'll be back right after this.
The Lumberjacks change. Got 10 out, 20 in. That's for this team here. 10 out, 20 in.
Now pitching for the Ohio Bombers, Tyson Duncan.
Back at Brookside Park, and Federico Olheiser will replace Sabate, and Tyson Duncan will toe the hill and throws a pitch just outside. The Australian throws a nasty drop ball, and he's looking to get control of the Lumberjacks right now as they have runners at the corners. And that is the first strike on the batter, Olheiser. Olheiser coming into bat for Sabate. And that's the second pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And we are in the top of the third, and the Jacks are threatening as they have runners on the corners. You know it's a pitching change when your engineer starts eating a donut. Looks like he visited that cream place, Krispy Kreme. Foul ball to play, 2-2 count. As Duncan came in with runners on the corner and a 1 out. Duncan delivers, and it was a inside fastball. Had some pace on that one. Of course, my guys to my right up here in the booth don't have a gun. Must not have a license to carry a 74. He said 74 to my right. If that was 74, I'm 150 pounds. Olheiser takes a swat at it, and it's a foul ball off the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the third inning, a 3-0 lead, I should say, for the Lumberjacks. And looking to add to it right now as Duncan takes a walk around the mound to think about what he's going to do. The lefty eyes his catcher Rutt and hops it home, and another foul ball. This one out of play halfway to the pool. Hope Craig Scott brought a huge supply of balls from MVD Sports. Craig, of course, the player manager. For the Ashland A's, and the tournament director. makes it all happen here. And I know these fellas out here on the field are grateful as the ball's inside and it hits the batter, Federico Olheiser, and Olheiser will load the bases up for the Jacks. And the batter will be Daniel Alstad, who in his first at bat had a line drive single. Bases juiced, 1 out, Alstad digs in. Duncan with his first walk of the game. And the pitch is a strike. Duncan probably wouldn't do as well if he had to adhere to major league rules with that pitch count. But he's a heck of a pitcher as it stands, and a ground ball up the middle, heck of a play by the second baseman. And it goes 4-6-3 on the double play, and that'll be it for the Lumberjacks, and the Bombers get out of it in that inning. We had 2 hits, 3 runners left on base. The score as we head to the bottom of the third, 3-0 Lumberjacks, and we'll be back right after this.
Ohio Bombers, 0.
Back at Brookside Park as we head into the bottom of the third inning. Kuba Oseka will watch as the Bombers coaches get in place. And the dugout over on the right side coming to life as the Bombers looking to get back in this one. And I'm pouring water all over my book here. No hot dogs for me as they've been delivered to the press box. And stepping up to the plate for the Bombers and hitting a foul ball back to the screen is Justin Zimmerman, the first baseman. Zimmerman's first trip to the plate tonight. He's a big fella. Trying to get his team back in this one as he takes strike 2. The Bombers, so far, nothing on offense. And there it is. That's how you jinx the pitcher. And that ball gets him hung up, and Zimmerman gets hit with the ball, and he'll be safe at first base after the single to right. Nice piece of hitting there by the first baseman. And the first time that a Bombers runner has gotten to go to the bag. I was going to have to get Google Maps out to give him directions to first base. Delmar Martin, the left fielder, steps in, and he steps across in strike 1. How do you water? If you water your book, it doesn't grow. So I don't know why I watered it. Martin shows bunt, and he pops one up, and he drops it, and he does it because, well, that's a double play. That was a double play because I think he dropped it so he could get a double play. What do you think? So instead of a sacrifice, that went 1 to 3 to 6, and that's a double play. And the Bombers, again, have no runners on the bags. And Glenn Martin, the second baseman, will step into the box. And folks, right there is why you don't pop up a bunt. I did that once. Nice pitch delivered by Oseka, and quickly he has Glenn Martin in an 0-2 rut, which would make 3 ruts on the Bombers, right? 2 players and 1 there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Oseka really in the groove. He's only really thrown 1 bad pitch, as that one will head over to the swing set. I got to clear out the box if I'm going to do TV. This guy's over here. Craig Scott making out his lineup behind us as he has the next ball game, as the A's will take on the Gremlins, and that is right down, what do you say, Broadway? Brookside. Right down Brookside Drive, right? Strike 3. 1 hit in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Bombers. Nobody left on base. Score after 3. 3-0 Lumberjacks lead. You're watching Softball Premier TV, and we'll be back right after this. I got my cue. We're back at Brookside Park, and we head to the 4th inning. And Carlos Colmenares steps into the box. I'll tell you what, if there's a name test after this game, you 2 are failing, I might pass. The guys to my right are out of here. But it's okay. I don't think I ever got above a C in English. I did pretty well. I had advanced Spanish in college. Luciano, you'll be impressed with that. I still can't speak it. I went once upon a time to Cancun for vacation, and I immersed myself in it for about 7 days. And about the 6th day, I figured out where the comida was in the baño. And I had to after eating all that comida and drinking the agua. Colmenares now with a 1-1 count, as Tyson Duncan now towing the rubber for the Bombers. Strike 2. Or actually, 3 balls, 1 strike. The scoreboard was right. My partner to my left was struggling just a little bit. But you know what, with his setup, and that is hammered. That one's off the picnic table out in right field. A home run for Colmenares, and a 4-0 lead for the Lumberjacks.
Home run by Colmenares for 4-0. AWP Lumberjacks.
Brings up
That was lumberjacked. And the leadoff hitter, Klaus, the left fielder, steps into the box with a 4-0 lead. And, well, that's what happens when you got a guy that throws the pace of Duncan. If he makes a mistake, you get hurt. And the Bombers got bombed on that one. Lefty winds and delivers a pitch about 4 inches outside. Top of the 4th inning at Brookside Park. A lovely night for softball as the ball comes in high and a 2-0 count on the batter. 2-0. The guys to my right, they don't have to do math. They just have to push a button to keep me in line. Because if they had to do math, folks, I don't know what I'd tell them. I'd probably fail them. They can add up anything in a 12-ounce can. Oh, these guys. Ground ball foul to the right. Having a lot of fun with these guys up here tonight. Got a little bit of a history with the guys to my right. Swing and a miss, and that is all she wrote for Klaus. That'd be the first out in this inning.
One away, brings up second baseman, Cody.
Cody Pennybacker comes up. Cody, on the day, 0 for 1 with the sack. And the 2 hitters, the guy that you would expect to be the bunter of the team, as he dribbles one down to third base. What a play, and he's still safe. That was a heck of a play by Martinez. But he just got to first, so a little bit of speed there on that young man.
One away to run on first base. Brings up
It's her second hit of the inning.
the center fielder, Jordan Solorio.
Solorio steps into the box. If the stats are right on their game changer, he has 2 dingers on the season. And he takes the first pitch at the top of the strike zone. Not the one he wanted. Of course, with a 4-0 lead now and a runner on first base, you're really looking to drive a pitch now. You don't have to worry about battling back in. You're just going old school and looking to tee off. Solorio shaking his head about something. Got 3 monitors and an equalizer to my left. How many cameras do we have? How many cameras? 6. He said we have 6 cameras. I was going to say all of them. We have all of them because there's a bunch of cameras here. Got a lot of angles out here. Duncan delivers, and it is a, let's see. He's asking down at first base if he went, and I believe he said no. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pennybacker on first base. That's Duncan. Looking to put the kibosh on the Lumberjacks. Foul ball to play. And there is a secondary fence that generally stops the balls. It's only about 20 feet behind the seating. So it's not way back, so a lot of balls do get out on the right side. And of course, you always have more right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters. Most generally. But I've just been informed left-handers are better. So write that down, Luciano. I'm not sure what they're better at, but they're better. Not math. I figured that one out. Solorio, the center fielder, hitting over 500 on the campaign, takes the pitch inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first. Top of the 4th inning from Brookside Park in beautiful Ashland, Ohio. And the crowd is enjoying this one. Ground ball smashes off the dugout. And the next game will feature the #1 team in the nation, the New York Gremlins, taking on the Ashland A's. Duncan delivers the pitch just upstairs in ball 4, and I think he wanted it. So Solorio will head down to first base. And now we have 2 runners on with 1 out. And the third baseman stepping up, Francisco Lombardo. And Duncan looking to pull some magic out of the hat right now and stop this Lumberjack team. It started from the very first inning with 2 runs, and that is a pop-up. It's going to get past the screen here. As Rutt takes a good look at it and realizes he had no chance, he ran out of room. Used to the fluorescent yellow balls in the women's game, right? Heck of a play at third base. Could it be? No. Just a step on third from Martinez. And that's the second out of the inning. It's Martinez with the quick glove and the scoop. Couldn't get the double at first base, but he did stop the lead runner. So fielder's choice for Lombardo. Still have runners on first and second, and Carlos Carreño back up to the plate. Last time he went down swinging. Top of 4. Duncan will deliver. That was just outside. I mean, just outside. .1-0 offering is upstairs. 2 outs, 2 balls on the batter. Carreño. Carreño with a little bit of the old Cleveland Indian Toby Harrell look, or the old Dave Parker look, right? Got the socks pulled all the way up. Of course, in today's world, those could be compression socks. We don't know. Got to keep it light up here, folks. That was a nice pitch. Curve ball. Right over the plate for count 3-1, because that was strike 1. And Carreño watches Duncan step off the mound and walk backwards, and I'm not sure why. I think he just needed to rethink what he was thinking. Duncan with a little bit of a smile as he walked back. I think he just wanted to regroup. And he throws the ball, pretty good pitch. It's grounded down foul, just outside the third baseline, and everybody will retreat. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of 4. Runners on first and second, as Duncan will dry off his hand. Looks in, asks the catcher to go back through the signs, and delivers, and it's a foul ball. And back behind the plate here, I don't know if you can see it, folks, but there's kind of a wall. It's got some rocks behind it, about 3 feet. So the ball usually bounces pretty clean if it rolls back to the fence, but that was obviously a foul ball. And that one is smoked right up the middle, folks. And that'll bring Solorio in to score. And that's a base hit for Carreño.
Base hit by Carrero, scores a run. Brings up the designated player, Tyler Boulay.
And the RBI single is his second RBI single of the night. Runners on first and second, and the guy that had a single the last time he was up, Boulay, who's 1 for 1 with a walk on the day, will step in as we get a pinch runner. And that's Valia again, running for Carreño, who must have been blessed with my speed.
Lumberjacks 12 up, 27 here.
So pinch runner at first base, first and second. And Boulay, Tyler that is, steps in lefty on lefty, and Duncan delivers, and it is a ball low. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. First and second, 5-0 Lumberjacks lead, ball hot. Fans number 85 and 86 are walking in. Way more than that, folks. The guys beside me are struggling with the count. The ball is just outside, as the Gremlins make their way into Brookside Park. There's probably been a few Gremlins over the years in Brookside Park, and they weren't wearing softball uniforms. Boulay with the walk. That'll load the bases. Coming up next, of course, we'll have the Gremlins from New York and the Ashland A's, who is led by the director of this tournament, Craig Scott, who's been courteous to us, as Boulay looks like he is going to talk to somebody, as we're going to have another pitching change. So when our new pitcher faces batters, he'll face the bags juiced and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning, and that pitcher is that Etchevers? Is that correct?
Now pitching for the Ohio Bombers, Matthias Etchevers.
All right, so new pitcher on the mound is Matthias Etchevers, and he'll face Federico Olheiser, who came in earlier and replaced Sabate. So this is where I gotta make my mark. This is the spot that gets to face the new pitchers, as a pop fly down the right field line. Second baseman gonna run out of room. Glenn Martin made a valiant effort at it, but the ball went to the New York Gremlins, who were in better position. So Duncan made it through a couple innings. And Echever is trying to clean it up here with the bags juiced. 2 outs. And a pop fly again, and this one may stay in the park. Let's see. And it hits the ground. So new life. Another effort by Martin, but ran out of real estate over there. Got a group down in the right field line. I don't even think they're paying attention to the game, but they could see the whole thing. Back in the day, the fence was made so you couldn't see in here, right? And that is a swing and a miss by Olheiser, and that'll do it for the Jacks in the bottom, or the top of the 4th inning, I should say. So, 2 runs on 3 hits in that inning for the Lumberjacks. And the score as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, the Lumberjacks 5, the Bombers nothing, will return. Right after this, you're watching softball on Premier TV. Back at Brookside Park as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Mikey, that's only 4. You can change that back on the scoreboard. It says 5 out there. 4. It's the bottom of the 4th. It seems like the top of the 5th, right? The Lumberjacks have been up so many, had so many guys up. It seems like the top of the 5th, but it's not. We're only in the bottom of the 4th. And Oseka delivers his first pitch of the bottom of the 4th. And it is a strike. And the second one lined right out to second baseman Cody Pennybecker. And that was Martinez. That lined out to the second baseman in the 4th inning here. And one away as Dustin Rutt steps into the sandbox here. Field is actually in excellent shape. And Craig Scott made sure that the city had it ready as Oseka throws one in the dirt to Rutt. One away, bottom of the 4th. 5-0 Lumberjacks lead. As it's nice to see nice weather. Foul ball down the third base line as this one was rained out last year. Isn't that right? Wasn't a lot of it rained out? 2021, the Gremlins won. I didn't think last year happened. I thought I saw 2021. No worries. It's this year, so we're good. Strike delivered by Oseka. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And another foul ball out of play. And if you could have seen that foul ball, it traveled over the bleachers on the left side. There's a restroom about, what, 350 feet out there? That's my claim to softball fame. I hit a foul ball over that restroom. Strike 3 delivered, and Rutt will take a seat as Brandon Rutt will head up to the plate, the catcher. And that's 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. And really, aside from one hit, the Lumberjacks pitcher has looked stellar. And Rutt Could have cut down half the trees in the outfield with that swing as he chopped at that one. In wrestling, you'd had a fireman's carry on that one, right? Because it was that high? Trying to chop down a tree or chop down a house or something? I don't know. Gets a bat on that one, though, and it's a foul ball into the Lumberjacks batter's box. Catcher's a big fella in there. As Kubo Oseka throws ball one to Rutt. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on. 5-0 as the Lumberjacks have mustered 5 runs on 7 hits. 1 a home run. And a foul ball back to the screen just above the mitt of catcher Dan Allstat. And that was a wicked pitch, but it missed inside. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Oseka delivers a high one that Rutt couldn't lay off of, and that'll do it for the Bombers in the bottom of the 4th. We'll head to the 5th inning with the Lumberjacks leading 5-0. You're watching Softball Premier TV, and we'll be back right after this. Back at Brookside Park as we'll head to the top of the 5th inning, and the Argentina national pitcher, Matias Echevers, tries to get comfortable as he'll face Daniel Allstat, the catcher for the Lumberjacks. 5-0, the Lumberjacks lead, and folks, I can't not say how nice of a night it is. Nice breeze coming into the press box here that kind of neutralizes the hot air coming from the mic. And ball one delivered from Echevers. Allstat lays off of that pitch he didn't like. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single in the 2nd inning. And he swings at one that he probably should have left alone inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs as the lights are now on here at the stadium. And a nice piece of hitting once again as he reaches out and slaps it into right field for the single. And that's his 2nd one on the night and the 8th one for the visiting Lumberjacks. And immediately, Mike Marrero will come out and run for the catcher. That's why I used to hit it so far, right? Didn't have to run as much. Colmenares is standing in. He jacked one over the right field fence, right at the people standing out in right field. He's not a very big fellow, but he swung that bat with authority the last time he was up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. As the 1-1 offering will go back to the screen, and to second base goes the pinch runner, Marrero. This game not really moving at a blistering pace. The second game between the Gremlins and the A's set to start at 9 o'clock as the ball is tracked down, and we're going to get a double play at third base. As what a throw from Lucio Redemar as he catches the ball on the run and doubles up the runner at third base, Marrero. It's a heck of a throw. Nicholas Klaas will step in to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day. And Colmenares didn't put as big as charge as he did the last time he was up, but still went with the pitch and hit it to right field. So quickly 2 down in this one as the leadoff hitter, Klaas, looks at one outside. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. That was a no-doubter to third base. Pretty darn good throw. And that one's high. 3 balls, no strikes. So Echevers, who came in last inning into a tough situation and struck out Olheiser to end the inning, has faced 3 batters, given up 1 hit, but all the guys are off the bags, and that's a strike. Little hook. 3 balls, 1 strike. Probably not the pitcher sitting on 3-0. And that's ball 4. And Klaas will trot down to first base. And Cody Pennebaker, the second baseman, steps in against Echevers. Swing and a miss. Well, if you pick this up online, because we did promote it a little bit out there and you're local, you still have time to get out and watch the rest of this game and see the Gremlins, the #1 team in the nation, take on the Ashland A's, as that is a hobbler out into left field, and that's going to be a single, as that was one of those balls that maybe Pennebaker got a lot more respect than he deserved on that pitch. And that was his second hit in his last 2 at-bats. Solorio, the center fielder, steps up to the plate with the guy on first and second, 2 down. His team leads 5-0 here in the top of the 5th. And Echevers, getting the signal from his catcher, will deliver a ball low. And really, the monitor to my left would be a lot more telling, but I prefer to watch it. But you can see high-low pretty well here. In fact, they could just let us call the game from up here in the booth. And that was just outside. 2 balls, no strikes. And Solorio really with a good eye. He's walked his last 2 at bats, and that time he drives one into center field, coming around third base, and scoring for the Lumberjacks is Kloss, and that'll make it 6-0, folks. Single and RBI for Solorio brings Francisco Lombardo to the plate. And the pain just keeps getting inflicted here on the Bombers. Back-to-back singles by the Lumberjacks. 3 in the inning. And Kloss crossing the plate makes it 6-0. As Etchefers delivers low. 2 balls, no strikes. Foul ball out of play with some juice on it. I parked way up the hill, so I'm safe. And the dents are already in the back because I don't know how to back up. Lombardo looked at the 2-1 pitch. Down low. 3 balls, 1 strike. If you've been with us the whole game, it's really been dominated by the Lumberjacks. If you're just joining us, you've missed some offense by this team. And that pitch was inside, and he held up, and we're going to go back to being juiced on the bases. Ball 4 to Lombardo will bring up Carreño with 2 outs and a 6-0 lead. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. This tournament, the 3rd annual Ashland Invitational, features 5 teams in the top 20 and 6 total teams as the ball gets away, and crossing the plate easily is Pennybecker. Runners advance to 2nd and 3rd. And that was the first ball. Carreño hitting just under 400. Swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Seven to nothing your score from Brookside Park. You're listening here in beautiful Ashland, Ohio, and it is beautiful tonight. And that is a rip down the line. And 2 runs will score as Carreño trots into second base with the double. That was actually Juan Vaya. Forgot they subbed out there. And that is 2 ribbies for Juan Vaya. Ivan Sachs will step into the plate, replacing Boley. As the Lumberjacks are getting in their lineup, getting the rest of the guys in off their roster. So Valia had pinch ran before, but in the game this time hits a double. And the ball's high on Sachs. 9-0 Lumberjacks lead. Top of the 5th inning. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second and strike 1 delivered. Top of the zone. Valia was hitting .359 coming into that at bat, so pretty solid stick. Etchever's looking to get out of this inning. Just a bit high. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ball forward delivered, ball back to the screen. Runner will not advance, as Sachs will head down to first base. Put runners on first and second with 2 outs. And Olheiser will step in. Olheiser, in his last at bats, struck out. He's 0 for 1 with a walk, and he takes strike 1. Ninth hitter of the inning, folks. Hasn't gotten any better for the Bombers. Olheiser with a foul ball back to the screen, and the runners will relax a little bit on the bags. Really is the perfect place to play softball. Used to be the home of the Ohio State Championship for the girls, and that one is lined up the middle, and they're going to stop the runner at third. Olheiser with the single. And that'll load the bases for Allstat, who last time hit a ball into right field. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning, 9-0 lead for the Lumberjacks, and Allstat sends one over top of my head. The puppies are out, the people are out. Exciting time in Ashland as they just keep coming in. Now there's too many to count up here, boys. At least more than your guys' pay grade will allow you to. Oh balls, no balls, 2 strikes. And Allstat awaits the pitch from Etchevers, and it's inside. $11 hits on a night for the Lumberjacks. The bags are juiced. And Allstat is licking his chops up the plate. 1-2 count as Etchevers delivers, and he strikes out. That'll end it for the Bombers in the top of the 5th. Let's see. 4 runs on 5 hits. Bases left loaded. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 9-0 Lumberjacks lead. You're watching Softball Premier TV. We'll be back right after this. Back at Brookside Park, I got my cue. We're back on the air. Bottom of the 5th inning as Conrado Sanotina. Luciano tells me that's how you pronounce it. New pitcher on the mound for the Lumberjacks is number 22, Marco Diaz. As his team has 1 more hit than Diaz and 1 less run. 9-0, Jacks lead. Luciano, where's Marco Diaz from? He's from Mexico, and they will combine forces with the Team USA, right? Next year. So they'll allow them to have dual citizenship as far as the game of softball goes, as Diaz delivers a ball, and it's a grounder in the hole. And safe at first base will be Sanotina.
Base hit by Tino. Brings up the shortstop, Ryan Marr.
And that is only the second base hit recorded by the Bombers tonight as Ryan Marr, the shortstop, steps into the box. Marco Diaz gives up a single on his first batter. Diaz delivers the strike. Gets ahead of Marr right away. A lot of offense from the Lumberjacks, and not so much from the Bombers, but the Bombers just got their second hit, looking to go out of this with a little respect as strike 2 on Marr. The Gremlins and the A's up next, folks. As that game should start close to 9 o'clock, depending on when we get this one over, as that is, again, right down Brookside Drive. Strike 3. And Marr will hand off his bat and step down into the dugout. Lucio Redemar will step in, a left-hander. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. Base runner and 1 out, and that pitch is inside, and that will advance Sonatina. And they're going to check, I believe. Coach is walking down. I don't know what he's asking. They're having a little conference down here. Zimmerman is in on the conversation. But he's not up, is he? Who do you have up? What is he talking about? I'm not sure. They're questioning whether or not it hit the batter, right? Who's down at first base. That looks to be the conversation. And that was not Zimmerman. That was Redemar. And let's see what's happening. Zimmerman took off his helmet. He's walking back towards the on-deck circle. We've got 3 umpires standing in the same vicinity. And they're all going to trot back out to their position. And we should see a batter come back. And we do. Is it Lucio or Lucio? Lucio. Lucio. That's C's CH in Espanol. Lucio. Redemar. Redemar with 1 K on the day. He batted once in the second inning. Will step back in as he didn't get hit. And that's just a little bit outside for 2-0. I couldn't understand why Zimmerman was part of the conversation with the umpires, but, well, he worked his way in. Protect your chips if you're playing poker and he shows up. Foul ball back to the screen. Zimmerman's a tall guy, probably, what, 6'5", 6'4", 6'5"? From PA? Is he from Pittsburgh area? Oh, Lancaster. Okay. That was a beautiful pitch. It's going to be called a ball. And that's a 3-1 count. And we're going to see it. Might have been just a hair low. And that is ripped into the gap in left center field, and that will be the first runner to cross the plate. And that's a triple for Redemar. See why you don't want to walk, folks? Turn that into a good at bat and rip one in the gap for a triple and an RBI.
Redemar scores a run.
And the Bombers are on the board as Zimmerman steps up to the plate.
Justin Zimmerman.
9-1, bottom of 5. And that was hit with authority, as that's 2 hits now given up by Marco Diaz. And that was cranked right down the middle. Diaz hops in and fools him with a changeup. Way out in front of that pitch. Oh, 2 on Zimmerman. Diaz inside, ball 1. Got a runner on third. 1 run in for the Bombers, their first one of the contest. Took them 5 innings to get there.
How you doing?
Diaz delivers, and a swing and a miss by Zimmerman. 2 outs. Delmar Martin
With 2 away, brings up
steps into the box, the left fielder, with a runner on third base. Diaz just blowing one by Justin Zimmerman. And says, what the heck, I might as well just throw the same pitch again, and he does. Strike 1 on the batter. Delmar Martin, only at bat, hit one back to the pitcher. And that was a smooth changeup. It's probably the best one we've seen all night. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will do it.
and that's the ball game.
Final score in the first game tonight, as the Bombers were able to get across a run in that inning on 2 hits.
Next up, the New York Gremlins
The
versus the ASHLAND.
Lumberjacks 9, the Bombers 1. We'll return in a bit with the Gremlins and the A's. You're watching Softball Premier TV. We look forward to our next game after this.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com.